This is the association's Postgame presented by Caesar Sportsbook. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz. He is current 18-year veteran and NBA champion DeAndre Jordan. And that is our two-time championship coach, David Fizdale, in the house.
Current, though. I like current.
I love current.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
18-year current.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Setting the bar, okay? We bring excellence only here on the association. All right, we've got full post-game coverage from Spurs T-Wolves with Game 6 in Minnesota. The Spurs looking to just close this thing out, okay? Let's get you right to the highlights. White dilly-dally. We don't do that here. And certainly looking to defend home court, but Wemby and co. with a 3-2 lead had other plans. Here we go, first quarter.
Ooh,
Spoiler alert, the next few plays will be Stephon Castle.
Man.
Yeah. He's been so good. A force, truly.
No, seriously. I mean, but when you got Wemby as your screener and all of that attention he's drawing, it's like the perfect combination.
Look at that. Get it back out to him from behind the arc.
Hey, if he making that,
14 points in the first.
forget about it.
All right, about a minute left in the first quarter. Oh, De'Aaron Fox. Okay, listen, he kind of flew. That was almost like ballerina-esque. Very graceful.
Speed.
Second quarter.
Are we going to see any Minnesota highlights?
Listen, they're coming.
You know, when you lose by 30 and you were down 27 in the second, I don't know if you deserve any clips.
Not a spoiler, Coach.
Sorry. They got.
I think they know, the people.
If you didn't know, it was
Now you know.
a long time ago, so you should have known.
About halfway through, got the rook. It is Dylan Harper for the layup there. Caps off a Spurs 20-0 run.
Outworked, out physical, out connected. They just.
Okay, here you go. There's Ant.
Okay.
Over Wemby, no less.
Yeah.
They made a run. They made a run.
Well, if one thing Ant's going to do is fight. McDaniel gets it out to Ant. Little step back three. They're trying to stay in it, man. They're a fight. Here we go, a second and a half before the break. Ant misses, but Nas with the putback. Wolves down 74-61 at the half. So we go to the third. Gobert tried it, but Wemby barely got off the floor for that one. I was like,
7-1.
Wemby he covers so much ground.
right. And now to add insult to injury.
Not the lefty hook.
Wemby, 19 points on the night.
Or lefty jump hook, no big deal.
Midway through the third, here comes Castle again.
If that just becomes, if he gets that, where it's just like at a high level, that's scary, man.
All right, we're in the fourth now.
And Harper.
Oh, Champagne, hello.
That's what he does.
He had a little more in him, too. Barnes over to Champagne.
Damn.
Wait, he was talking to somebody. Not to A-Rod.
No.
I'm screaming. Spurs win 139-109, the final score. A-Rod couldn't really say anything, to be honest. He barely looked up. Huge win and a big statement for the Spurs. All 5 Spurs starters scored in double figures, led by Stephon Castle, who joined Tim Duncan, David Robinson, George Gervin, and Manu Ginobili as the only Spurs with 30, 10, and 5 in a playoff game. Here's Castle afterwards.
Are the emotions to see the season end the way that it did like this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, disappointed in the results. Certainly the margin of victories are a little tough to take. For the most part, I thought guys fought, but we just couldn't complete plays on both ends of the floor at times.
What kind of allowed them to get on top of you as quickly as they did?
Well, I'll take the blame for the start of the game. We flipped the matchups around, and we tried to do some things there to maybe slow down their start. But it allowed Castle to get hot early. That certainly wasn't the plan, even though that we knew we would be giving up some clean looks to them. But that's on me. So.
was the original idea on the matchup was to put Julius Moore on Wemby for that reason, to get it underneath
absolutely.
a little bit more?
Yeah, like I mean, for that part of the result was good. He wasn't really an early factor. He'd been getting off the hot starts, so we wanted to try to take those away. But we knew when we would do that, we were going to be giving up some other things. So, but in all of that, we lost a bit of our aggression. I think we needed to probably come out with more aggressive mindset.
They played Ant extremely well the entire series, it seems. I mean, even when he was getting buckets, it was a rough road for him. Could you see a way to make that work better as you worked along?
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job. I mean, they were really physical. They held him off ball. They chucked him on the ball. With their bigs, particularly Wembanyama, it's not really a pick and roll game. They stayed home on our drive and kick on him in particular. I thought tonight he found something with like downhill momentum drives and staying with it and playing with force. I think that was something that hadn't been there early on in the series as he was kind of working himself back. But I don't know. I mean, Anthony certainly wasn't 100%, and it was a credit to him just to be out there and playing the way that he did. So I've got nothing but great things to say about Ant's performance in this series because he wasn't supposed to even be there until the middle of the series. So.
How would you assess Gobert's series and his struggles the last two games?
Yeah, I think with the Rudy piece around Wemby, it's a lot of it had to do with just kind of coverage mistakes, like where he needs help. We have to execute certain coverages around that. They move him all over the floor. They treat him like a guard a lot of times. That's not always easy for Rudy to navigate. So when we weren't helping, he got a little bit exposed. And offensively, wasn't a series where we were going to be able to find him easily. And the pick and roll we just talked about. So, but the gravity when he was down in the dunker along the baseline did open up some opportunities to drive and kick. And when we did that, we didn't really find that rhythm till several games into the series. But once we found it, we didn't make shots. Some points you gotta make those shots. You got to keep creating them and you got to make them. So, but Rudy fought. So, it just felt like some guys, not just Rudy, but just as the series went along, the kind of things dried up for him. And tonight was just kind of the pinnacle of that. But
Chris, guys have talked throughout the series about game plan mistakes, stuff like that. Is that an example, you think, of why they may have to put a higher emphasis on that stuff during the regular season so things can become a little more robotic this time of year?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're also, when you get to this level, like you're forced to look at your flaws, and some of them are correctable, and some of them are more fatal. And we just have to have a better percentage of making those game plan executions. I think during the season, like we do a pretty good job of executing, but like at this point in time, like you pay for every breakdown that you have, and some of the times you just pay by great players or a physical mismatch or something like that. So you can't like have both things going on at the same time. So.
What do you think? How do you explain the defensive transition?